Alright, hello, this is Mr. Crozier. I wanted to give you some help on this practice quiz before your real quiz. So here we go. First problem, we're going to do the exponent properties we know. And if we are multiplying two exponents here, all we have to do is add the exponents. Sorry if we're multiplying two variables. On the next one, if we divide them, all we need to do is subtract away the exponents. And on the final one, if it's an exponent to an exponent, we multiply those exponents. So those are our three basic rules. We're going to use those and apply them in many different ways down below. So here we go. On the first problem, let me set this up. We have a fraction, and let's see, we have 18 on top, 6 on the bottom. That reduces to just 3 over 1. 6x is on the top, 1 on the bottom. If we subtract those away, that is 5. Positive 5, the numerator is into the fifth. Now we can simplify this. 3 into the fifth divided by 1, well, that's just 3 into the fifth, and that's what we want to do, work all the way down till we can't simplify anything else. On the next one, if we take care of the coefficients, we have 3 times 30 over 5 times 1, or I could do some reducing here and just get 18. And the a's, a to the second, a to the fourth, a to the sixth, and the denominator is just 1, divided by 1 leaves us back to 18. On the second problem, we have parentheses. Let's do the work in parentheses first. X to the 0 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, so I have 2 being multiplied by 3x to the fourth, which is just 6x to the fourth. Alright, on the next row, let's see here, I have 32 over 2, which would be just 16 over 1. And I have an x on the top and 2 on the bottom. If I subtract those, it's negative 1, which means my x is in the denominator. And if I simplify that, it's simply 16 over x. We want to get rid of all the 1 times the x's. On the next one, really straightforward. 6 times 7 is 42. Add the exponents is 4. On the third one, let's see here, we have to distribute this into both factors, and 4 to the third power, well, that's 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And remember the rule here, exponent to exponent, we multiply them. So you're doing two kind of different things here. 4 to the third power is 4 times 4 times 4, which gives us a 64, but the exponent is handled differently. All right, going on the next problem here, we have 8/7 times 14 over 10. Well, I can do some simplifying. Divide those by 7, I have 2 and 1. Divide these by 2, I have 4 and 5. My numerator would be 8. My denominator would be 5. Now if we got to find the powers for the exponents, 2x's and 1x means x to the third power. And y to the first power, y to the second power, well, that's y to the third power. Alright, on the next problem, a divided by a is 1. I can write a 1 there, and then now I have 8 divided by 2, simply 4. The variables are gone because a divided by a is always 1. On the next one, we have 8/16. Well, that's a half. And now we have a squared over a is just a. And b over b to the ninth, well, that's 1 minus 9 is negative 8, which reminds us they belong in the denominator. So I have a on the top and 2b to the 8th power in the denominator. All right, second to last row, 8 times 4 is 32. Whoops, let's redraw that. Let's see here. 8 times 4 is 32. And a in the power would be a 3 and a 1. That makes a to the fourth power. Going forward, we have 8 over 24. Well, that's the fraction 1/3. And x to the 7th divided by x to the 7th, well, that's just 1. And 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 1, that's just the fraction 1/3. All right, next one, we have some work here to do with our exponent. We distribute this in here, and let me rewrite this. That is 2y squared multiply, that's 27. 27y to the third power. And if I multiply those, I have 54 And it looks like I have y to the 5th power. Alright, final row. Let's see here. We have a numerator and a denominator. Let's do the numerator first, of course. Let's see here. If I distribute this in, I have 2 to the 3rd, which is 8. Exponent, exponent. Remember, that's multiplication. And now, can I do some more simplifying? Sure. 8 divided by 4 is just 2. I'm going to put 2 over 1. And x to the 15th divided by x to the 1st. Well, that's just x to the 14th. Well, if I divide that by 1, I have 2x to the 14th. Divided by 1 is just 2x to the 14th. On the next one, x to the 0 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And on the final one, 33 divided by 3, well, that's 11 over 1. And b over b to the 2nd, well, that's 1b in the denominator. And c to the 5th over c is c to the 4th. Can I simplify anything? Sure, it's going to look a little bit simpler if I just write a b in the denominator. Alright, I hope this helps for your quiz. Good luck.